Hello there and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. I'm Alan Waddell and joined as always by the head baseball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Matt Reiser. Coach, thanks for being here. A very productive week for your club. A busy week, 5 games. You go 4-1 and you look up at the end of the week and you're in first place in the Southland Conference.
Yeah, really proud of the guys. You know, if you look at Tuesday night, it was a tough ball game we dropped, and for our guys to respond, they've responded kind of all year in our tough losses, but haven't shown the consistency like they did this weekend. To go into Corpus, who was my preseason pick of the year, to win the conference since we can't vote for ourselves, to go into their place and sweeping at their place was a real joy and a real pleasure.
And Matt, we're going to talk about this later on in the program as we're going to take a look at all the highlights from the games this week, but really a strange weekend once again. The weather has been so strange here early on. You're going to play 2 on Friday night, you have a day off on Saturday, and then play on Sunday. Just can't quite get in a routine. I know you had to be proud of the character of your guys, the way they handled that situation.
Yeah, you know, like you said, we're kind of getting used to it now with the double headers and the mix and the match and the game days, the times and whatnot. But again, it goes back to our guys when we keep talking about and keep preaching. You know, it doesn't matter where or when or who. When it's time to lock and load and get in there and get after it, from pitch one to the last pitch, we've got to be able to do it. And I thought our guys showed strong mental character this weekend by doing that.
All right, well, let's take a look at the highlights as the Lions were down on the road at Tulane on Tuesday night. All right, Coach, second matchup of the year against the Tulane Green Wave. Cashman on the mound for your club. He has been so good. Unfortunately, in this game, it just got away a little bit early in this one.
Yeah, Tuesday night we had a chance to get a little redemption, and unfortunately, Cash came out right energy, threw some balls well. We botched double play ball, but unfortunately, they scored some runs there early, and we tried to scratch back. You know, I was proud of the guys. I didn't think we gave up. I thought offensively we continued to try to score some runs, but we just gave up so many runs early. It was tough to get back in the ball game.
Coach, your team has played so well here in 2015, and anytime you're around the game long enough, games like this happen. I know it's always, and as we're going to see on the highlights later on in the program, it's always how you respond to games like this.
That's exactly it. You know, and in the game here, you see, again, we're not quitting. We're still swinging the bat. We're still trying to get some guys on base. We're hustling down to first base. Deucer, their guy, had a nice ERA coming in. We did a good job of putting some pressure on them. Had some 2-out knocks, but again, like we said, their offense, it was their night. They couldn't do anything wrong. You know, they had the 15 hits and the 15 runs, and sometimes that's the way it's going to work. So, unfortunately for us, but in the grand scheme of things, we did get some guys out of the bullpen. You saw Drew Avens there with a strikeout coming out of the bullpen. Got to see multiple guys come out of the bullpen and did, for the most part, a fairly decent job throwing strikes and trying to solidify some more of that bullpen, because our weekend rotation is so good. If we get some guys solidified in that bullpen, we'll have a chance to do some things.
Coach, if you stay around the game long enough, like I mentioned in the highlights, you have games like this, and it just got away early, but it's always how your team responds.
Yeah, unfortunately, we really felt like the first game against Tulane got away at our place. Felt like they snuck out of there with a win they shouldn't have, and had a chance for a little bit of revengeance on Tuesday night. And sometimes, like you said, the ball doesn't bounce your way, and everything you do is wrong, everything they do is right. That night was their night, and unfortunately, we couldn't get the win and couldn't get anything going. But again, I'm proud of the guys bouncing back for the rest of the week.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll get to all the highlights from the rest of the week on Wednesday night against Jackson State, and then the weekend against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. Stay with us.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Your eyesight is so important, and when it comes to your eye care, let the friendly staff at the Bond Roten Eye Clinic care for you. Doctors Hunter Bond and Chris Roten, along with their staff of trained doctors, are committed to providing every patient with quality care. The Bond Roten Eye Clinic has the latest medical technology and eye care to help you, the patient. With over 14 years of experience, the Bond Roten Eye Clinic has 3 locations to serve you, with offices in Denham Springs, Hammond, and Amite. So if it's a checkup, glasses, or LASIK surgery, you need to visit the Bond Roten Eye Clinic. For more information on the clinic, please visit bondroteneyeclinic.com.
Lions Baseball is supported by Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction, located in SLU's hometown, Hammond, Louisiana. Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction is a dealer-only auction.
For more information on Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction or their upcoming charity golf tournament, please visit www.lafcaa.com or visit Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction on Facebook and Twitter. Welcome to Buddy's Bar and Grill, located at 1236 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond. Buddy's is home to great steaks, fresh seafood, and friendly service. Buddy's has been voted the best steakhouse and best restaurant in Tangipahoa Parish. With over 2,500 square feet and 3 large dining rooms, Buddy's can accommodate any party. Buddy's goal has always been to wow customers with their food and prices. Owner Scott Henderson and his family have always believed in giving customers good deals for their hard-earned money. Stop by Buddy's Bar and Grill for dinner and a drink. For more information on Buddy's, please visit buddyshammond.com.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. The Lions will be back in action the very next night on Wednesday night at home against Jackson State. Here's the highlights. Well, Coach, the good thing about baseball is you get to go right back out there the very next night and take on Jackson State at home. A representative from Regions Bank throwing out the first pitch. Like just about every game, you always have a sponsor that throws out the first pitch, and you'd send Kyle Keller to the mound in this one against Jackson State.
Yeah, you know, again, we had to respond. We couldn't get back on the field quick enough after Tuesday night's loss there at Tulane, and I thought the guys have done a good job all year. We've had some tough losses throughout the year, and Tuesday was no different, but Wednesday we got a chance to get back out there and do some things for us. You know, Kyle Keller, again, was actually proud of him. Early in the ball game, gives up a knock, gives up a run there in the first inning. Would be his only blemish of the night. For the most part, he can locate it, his fastball, does a good job with his all-speed pitch, and see he gets the punch out there on the fastball end.
Offensively, you get it started here with Jacob Seward going to be hit by a pitch, and he has really been swinging the bat and just really settling back into that leadoff role.
Yeah, you know, really proud of the guys from an offense standpoint. I think we did a very good job early taking our HPPs. We're doing a much better job now. I've actually been pulled back 5 or 6 times on some hit by pitches, so guys are doing a much better job understanding that. And lo and behold, we're having better offense because of it. You know, you see Kevin Carr here doing a good job. We were executing some of our offense. We got in first, third on the base knocked there, but mid-jet. Got Kevin Carr at the plate, does a good job executing the push there to push them in, and I think Brett Hoffman comes up with a big 2-out knock there to continue to extend the lead.
Nice job there. Daniel Midyat would score. And Hoffman with the 2-out RBI. Those are always big. And it was nice to see your offense come back out, but Kyle Keller really had a nice performance on this night.
He really did, you know, and again, you know, after being off last week, it was good to see him back out there and save that same form he had when he was out against Alcorn. Just did a phenomenal job of dominating the strike zone, and our offense really clicked on Wednesday night. You know, like I said, Tuesday night we had a hard time getting back into the groove of things. We got extended on us so early, but our guys did a good job. You know, the biggest thing for us in the midweek is having the productive at-bats. You know, the hits are going to come, especially in a midweek game here at home like this. And you see our guys, we run the bases extremely well. Kevin Carr actually gets the score from first base there on a pass ball. And then we do a good job of backspinning a brown ball right through the shortstop and scoring Ryan Byers there for second base with 2 outs.
It's always nice to have those 2-out RBIs, and the team's been doing that here lately offensively. Really a strong offensive performance so far from your club on the year. And here's a little double play. Kyle Keller induces the Jackson State hitter into.
Yeah, I thought Tuesday night we didn't do a very good job defensively, eliminating some innings. We had some opportunities to make some plays, and good job there by our middle infield, turning a double play and getting out of the inning, and let the offense go right back to work. You see Brett Hoffman there with a base knock through the hole, and again we're running the bases the right way, and kind of when it's going your way, it's going your way. You see Webb Bobo get all the way down the line there, and we score the guy here, or get the guy advanced over the third base here from the first. The ball gets away, and then right back to work there with Kyle Keller.
Big breaking ball in there for strike 3 as the sun went down and became nighttime, and this was a ball that was absolutely crushed to right center field for Chris Eads, and really a special inning for your club. 3 home runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, the 2 guys went back-to-back there with Jacob Williams and Midyat. We get the 1 guy on base, and then Chrissy's there, cleans it all up there with the Oppo Taco home run. Man's got big time power, does a good job in the middle of the field and driving the ball to the ballpark.
Lions win at 11-5 on Wednesday night. Also, Daniel Midyett with his 5th home run. All right, Coach, you bounce back with a nice victory over Jackson State. You moved the season series to 2-0 against those guys. I know you were proud of the team and the way they responded.
Yeah, again, we came out with the right attitude the next day. This team has done a good job with their challenges all year, and I thought we swung the bats really well, but again, Kyle Keller was very impressed in his outing. It's good to see him back to his form from last year. His 2 consecutive outings, he's really dominated the strike zone with all 3 pitches, so glad to see that, and glad to see our bullpen pitch well as well.
No doubt about it, as the Lions would then get on the bus and take the long trip down to Corpus Christi, Texas. And due to weather, 2 games will be played on Friday. Let's check out the Game 1 highlights. All right, Coach, due to weather, you would actually play 2 games on Friday afternoon, Friday night against A&M Corpus Christi. And I know you thought and think very highly of this Corpus Christi club that you took on over the weekend.
Yeah, veteran crew. They got their whole weekend staff back, 2 of the top pitchers in the conference, and they jumped on us early. You know, they did a good job with Tate, you know, of having some good grinded out at bats, but Tate did a phenomenal job of just eliminating the big innings. He only get 1 run, so we were only down by 3 through 6. And allowed our offense to get going. We faced Matt Danton on Friday night, the ERA leader in the conference, and we strung some 2-out hits together, had some balls fall our way. So you see this one dump in here in the center field, but really had some nice quality at bats against him, and finally got to him there in the 6th inning with a 5-run inning.
I don't want to foreshadow anything, but this was really a day of comebacks because the Friday night game would basically be the same way in this one, but a great opportunity. You fell behind in this one, but were able to come back, show some character on the road. And if you're going to have a successful season, you know you got to be able to win on the road, and you take Game 1 6-4.
Yeah, and really proud of Max Scroller. Did a phenomenal job of coming in, pumping strikes, and getting the save for us as well.
Well, Coach, big win on Friday, Game 1. Tate C&O moves to 4-1 on the year. It was one of those games you fell behind early and were able to come back and get a big victory and take Game 1.
Yeah, you know, their offense did a good job of putting some ABs together against Tate, but Tate did a phenomenal job of just eliminating the big inning. That's what we've been kind of concentrating and preaching all year. That if you look at our losses that we've had an inning where we've given up more than 2 runs. The Abilene Christian, the Incarnate Word. Tate did a phenomenal job of eliminating their big innings to 1 run and got the offense going. The offense did a good job. You know, we talk about all the time, the way you're going to win championships, you got to have 2-out RBIs, and our guys stepped up. Did a good job against the Friday night guy who was leading the conference in ERA to get the win there on Friday night.
Well, the Lions would not have much time to celebrate as they would turn around 30 minutes later and take on Texas A&M Corpus Christi in Game 2 on Friday night. Jake Johnson was on the mound. Here's the highlights. Come back out for the nightcap against Corpus Christi, and their pitcher was very good early on especially, and this was a unique night, and as you'll see from the highlights, as very foggy on this Friday night at A&M Corpus Christi.
Yeah, you know, their lefty really kept us handcuffed pretty much the whole game, and really, you know, Jake Johnson did a good job, phenomenal job to keep us in the ball game. They had 2-out knocks in the 2nd inning, scored 4 runs. You know, they kind of try to keep the lefty in there. We get to them, we get bases loaded, get a knock by Ryan Byers there with 2 outs, and then now we got 2nd and 3rd. We do a good job of taking the extra bag, 2nd and 3rd, to get 2 more guys in scoring position. And Kamenar comes up with another big 2-out knock to put us there at 4-4. We get 1st and 3rd on another base knock, and then Jacob Seward, it seems like he's always stepping up for us here lately with another big 2-out knock to take the lead there in the 6th inning.
You can see the fog rolling in. Nice play defensively and a superb job by your team coming back once again in this one. And you bring in a left-hander there, and really does a nice job of keeping these guys at bay.
Yeah, they had run at 3rd, nobody out. This was really the backbreaker for them. Dominic Carlini has struggled a little bit for us lately, and did a phenomenal job on Friday night coming in Game 2 and shutting the door there. Gets out of the jam, and then also you see here in the bottom of the ninth, again, does a good job of handling the error and gets the punch out there by Mr. Ware. They're 4-hole in the ball game and sweep a doubleheader there at Corpus.
All right, Coach, big win once again. You take the series against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. You sweep the doubleheader on Friday, and this was a game where your team just really hung in there because their pitcher was really good early on. You just hung in there, had an opportunity, and got some big 2-out hits to bust that game open there late.
Yeah, we knew the lefty going in. He was the leading the conference in strikeouts. We knew he was going to be tough. We've seen him before. He's a veteran lefty they've had that's a senior now that's been there for 4 years. And like you said, our guys did a good job of grinding out some at bats, and finally got to him there. We had base loaded with 2 outs. You know, still down 4-0. 2 big 2-out knocks back to back. ties the ball game up, and we end up taking the lead afterwards off the reliever. So really proud of the resilience the guys showed. Overall on the day, probably the most complete day and complete 2 ball games we put together all year.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Game 3 highlights that would be played on Sunday, as Saturday was a day off due to weather. Right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Welcome to Buddy's Bar and Grill, located at 1236 South Morrison Boulevard in Hammond. Buddy's is home to great steaks, fresh seafood, and friendly service. Buddy's has been voted the best steakhouse and best restaurant in Tangipahoa Parish. With over 2,500 square feet and 3 large dining rooms, Buddy's can accommodate any party. Buddy's goal has always been to wow customers with their food and prices. Owner Scott Henderson and his family have always believed in giving customers good deals for their hard-earned money. Stop by Buddy's Bar and Grill for dinner and a drink. For more information on Buddy's, please visit buddyshammond.com.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. The Lions would be looking for a sweep on Sunday against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Here's the highlights. Come back out for Sunday. I know there were some questions whether you get this one in, but you do. And take advantage here in the first inning. They have a couple of defensive lapses there, and you're able to capitalize with some push bunts and get some nice knocks early.
Yeah, really proud of our guys. I thought we really put some pressure on their defense coming in. I think they were the number 2 team fielded in the conference, and you call it bad defense on their part. I call it we put pressure on them, either way you want to call it. We did a good job of extending our lead. You saw there with Kevin Carr's push bunt, and then Chris E's doing a good job of beating out an infield single there and add another run there. We get 3 runs there in the first inning.
So you can see they tighten it back up as, once again, it looked like a replay from the first inning, but you're a push ball in a first and third situation, able to add another run.
Yeah, had 9 sacrifice bunts on the year coming in 25 games. We had 6 on Sunday. The corners couldn't handle the bunts very well, so we did a good job using our small game. And again, another productive at bat there we saw by Jacob Williams. That was a huge sacrifice fly we had. And then allows Chris Eads here late in the ball game in the 8th. Again, we talked about extending that lead there on Friday night. We're up 5-3 in the 8th. They get a big double play ball. We get a big 2-out knock there, score 2 runs there by Chris Eads. Really expand that lead to 7-3. And then here in the 8th, or in the top of the 9th, Seward gets extended lead again, 8-3.
You bring in Cade Grenier to close it out, and even though we didn't see any highlights of him here, Matt, Kyle Sedetall once again was the story on this day. Back-to-back outstanding performances. He was coming off a week where he was National Pitcher of the Week, and he backed it up with an 8-inning strong performance in this one, and you sweep the series against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Well, Matt, you go to Corpus Christi, Texas, and you get a sweep against the Islanders. Big-time performance by your club. A nice performance on Sunday, and Kyle Sedetall was outstanding once again.
Yeah, again, really proud of the guys. They could have easily got content with taking 2 out of 3, having the big day on Friday. We had a day off on Saturday, which is unusual. Had to hang around Corpus and get our work in there in the indoor facility. Shout out to S3 Baseball for allowing us to go in the indoor facility. And then Sunday come back, and these guys were just as hungry as if it was game 1. We jump on them early. They put some pressure on us there in the middle of the innings. They do a good job with Kyle. I think they end up getting 6 hits in the first 2 innings. But Kyle does a good job settling down, goes 8 strong innings for us. The offense extends the lead late. Couldn't be more proud of our guys to take that sweep on the road.
All right, Matt, let's talk a little bit where we're at right now as we're going to pop up the Southland Conference standings. 7-2 in the league. We're in first place right now, 19-7 overall. If you look at some of the statistics your club has put up here so far early in the year, leading the conference in hitting, actually top 10 in the nation right now in batting average. Your weekend starters, 11-2 with a 2.83 ERA, really has been a complete performance by your team up and down, offensively, defensively, and also with the pitching staff. How do you feel about where you're at right now?
Proud of the guys. I mean, we got to take this a day at a time, and the guys are starting to learn that a little bit more. I think we got caught up a little bit than maybe the first 2 series of whether it was up 10-0 like we did with Incarnate Word, or we gave up 7 runs there in the 9th inning against Abilene. We try to get caught up with too much results. I think the guys did a good job this week of understanding, just let's take it one pitch at a time, one game at a time, and see where we're at. We put ourselves in a good spot. It's early in the year and early in the conference. We're only through our 3rd weekend out of 10 weekends. But I like to be on top. I like the target on our back and everybody shooting for us.
Also want to congratulate Kevin Carr, senior first baseman, was named Southland Conference Hitter of the Week this week. So back-to-back weeks, a Lion performer was named the Southland Conference Player of the Week. It's now time to take a look at our Lion Profile of the Week, and this week we're going to check out the Diamond Girls, who do a lot of work behind the scenes.
It's one thing to give up 4 or 5 nights out of your week to play baseball. You see, those guys get scholarships and are around the game that they love. But for another group of young ladies, they put in just as much effort. Meet the Diamond Girls, who represent Southeastern Baseball.
Well, basically, we're kind of a support organization for the baseball team, so we help run a lot of game day stuff if the marketing staff needs help with games and stuff like that. And, we do gifts for the players, and we just help to make it easier for them as they play. So we'll pick up the bats, we'll handle all the stuff with the umpires. That way they can just focus really on the game.
It's a lot. It keeps you busy, but it's really fun to be in there, in the dugout, and just hearing the boys support each other and, being that support system there as well, and just being able to help the guys and be in the game. You feel like you're part of the game whenever you're in the dugout and hearing them cheer for each other and just watching the game go on from a different perspective than being in the stand. So it's a really new perspective, and it's really fun.
The Diamond Girls show up at the ballpark around the same time the players do. They're responsible for filling out the lineup card in the stadium concourse. They retrieve bats from home plate, take baseballs and water to the umpire, as well as tend to the field in the 6th inning.
Well, basically every inning, obviously, we're picking up the bat. So every time our players are batting, as soon as they hit it, hopefully making it on base, we're out there picking up the bats anytime the umpires need balls. So after they fouled off a few, we'll run those out. We walk out the first pitch. So we handle the first pitch, whoever's throwing it out, whoever our sponsors are, we're with them the whole time. We drag the field, everyone's favorite activity. All the girls really love it. Clear it, make it smooth. We bring water to the umpires, make sure they're hydrated so they make some good calls.
Erin St. Pierre's been a Diamond Girl now for 5 years and is in her last year leading the squad. Erin started with the organization back in 2009 when then head coach J.R. Teagues was trying to get the Diamond Club program up to full strength.
I can honestly say that this year is the best group of girls that we've had so far. When I first started, it was kind of just a basic, oh yeah, we're kind of going to do this here and maybe do that here and hope we kind of pull it off, but I've added a lot more structure to it, that I've made it a lot more of a group process. So, we have sign-up sheets, we're all texting each other all the time and kind of really keeping each other up to date. I've updated the uniforms big time. I've made us more involved, in my opinion, and this year we really have some amazing girls, and I could not be more grateful because I've had a lot more going on with graduation coming up, and knowing that I have these wonderful ladies who are really reliable, and I think that's one of the biggest ways we've grown. We've become a much more established organization.
For now, the Diamond Girls rotate home games. The job is hard, requires lots of time, and comes with no pay. But helping out is something the girls thrive on. They're a part of Lion baseball just as much as any player. In fact, they're like brothers and sisters away from the ballpark as well.
It's a lot of fun. We even when you leave the field, there's still movie nights, and there's we all go after the season opener. We all went out to Tommy's and ate, and so it's nice to have that teamwork system.
Well, I kind of knew some of them before baseball season started, so I kind of have a friendship with them. And since I'm a freshman, I'm still kind of trying to learn some of the guys, learn their names and stuff. So maybe eventually I'll probably become more friends with them, but right now it's just a few of them.
Matt, if you come to home games, you see a lot of the work the Diamond Girls do, running Gatorades out, getting the balls, do a lot of stuff for your club behind the scenes.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job, and I don't think people realize it. They go maybe a little taken for granted sometimes. They do so much behind the scenes for us, not only at the games, but at the banquets and helping our guys out. They've always got little goodies in the locker for the guys, that kind of stuff. So our head Diamond Girl, Erin St. Pierre, is like a daughter to me. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's so sweet to the guys and so sweet to us, and does anything anytime she can. She's a busy girl, but takes a lot of time out of her day to make sure our guys are taken care of and our coach are taken care of. So big thanks to her and all the Diamond Girls.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the scouting report for this weekend right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. Stay with us.
Ford Truck Month is here, and it's all about the numbers, people. Like low financing and big cash back on the 2014 F-150 while they last. Here's another number for you. 42. On average, a Ford F-Series is sold every 42 seconds. Now that's impressive. Get 9,000 total savings or 0 for 60 on the 2014 F-150. The time is now. See your Southern Quality Ford dealer today.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill right here in Hammond. As Matt, we're going to take a look at our scouting report for this weekend as just the weekend series, as you're going to take on Nicholls State, an in-state rivalry. And this is that series. You do it every year. It's the split series. You're going to be in Thibodaux on Friday and Sunday and at home on Saturday.
Yeah, you know, a tough bunch. They're leading the league right now on pitching ERA-wise, team ERA. Not a very offensive club, but, you know, again, it's Nicholls.
Right.
It doesn't matter what year it is. They could have 10 wins. We could have 10 wins. They could have 40. We could have, you know, however we want to mix and match. It could be one of the best and one of the worst. It's always a good series with us, going back and forth. Coach Thibodaux does a fantastic job with those guys down there. Always has them prepared, playing hard, and ready for us. So it should be a fun weekend. I'm excited for the challenge for our guys. You know, we're going to have the best offense in the Southland Conference going against the best pitching staff in the Southland Conference. It'll be an exciting weekend.
Also, I want to say on Saturday for the home game, that's also Super Lions Saturday. You have the 5K run in the morning, the softball game, the spring football game, and then baseball as well. So come out to campus and you can experience all that Southeastern has to offer here on Saturday as the Lions take on Nicholls State in baseball. And Matt, before we go, I got to congratulate you because, you know, everything these days is announced through social media, and I know a lot of your followers, they saw the tweet, also the Facebook message. Congratulations that you and your wife are expecting a child, and I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, she's definitely my better half, my stronger half, and definitely a blessing by God to give us this. And life has changed, the world has changed, so to speak. So expecting in September, we'll see what we have and be excited to welcome them.
No doubt. My daughter turns 1 in April, and you're joining the club. So congratulations once again. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us here. As also want to thank once again and give a shout out to Scott Henderson and the gang here at Buddy's. They do a tremendous job hosting us each and every week. For Coach Matt Reiser, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next week right here on Inside Southeastern Baseball with head coach Matt Reiser, presented by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and Buddy's Bar and Grill. See you next week.